So that comes out, goes multi-platinum, and then you start So Def.
Yeah.
And you sign Xscape.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's like a lot of times with, especially like female groups, R&B groups, there was a certain type of look that was required. Like I remember Matthew Knowles, me and him spoke about the colorism you see in music.
From a colorism perspective, show me at pop radio the number of black women that were of high complexion and the number of black women that were of dark complexion that got airplay. And again, this is from a research perspective. I've since learned that the common public don't understand the difference of research versus emotional. So the comments I made on the book about racism is really based on factual data. And when you look back at the charts at Top 40 Radio, you'll see that the black women that have been successful with airplay were all of light complexion.
You took a group that didn't really fit that kind of mold and made them go platinum again.
Yeah.
What was it about Xscape that
But
made you go?
This was before that. Matthew knows, before that, I think before that myth of what he was talking about came into play,
Yeah.
that didn't exist. I think people made that. You know what I mean? Like when I put Xscape out, it wasn't no thing about how girls looked, this, that, and the third. It was just like, it was just an empty space. If I remember, I'm trying to think what girl group was out before Xscape. I think In Vogue had came out, right? In Vogue definitely came out before Xscape.
Yeah.
And they was like women. Xscape, I signed, when I just did an interview with Xscape on the Breakfast Club, Candy was 15 years old when I signed Xscape.
These were high school girls, basically.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So it wasn't like they couldn't come out being In Vogue. I knew that. That's what I felt like. They didn't feel like women. So they didn't feel like high heels and dresses, and they felt like younger girls that was like, like I said, 15 years old, 16, 17. So the style that I wanted them to do, it had to fit that. It had to fit their age group.
Then we got a audition to sing for Jermaine. It was his, like, I don't know if it was his 20th birthday party, and TLC was there and Criss Cross was there, but they hadn't came out yet. And
Criss Cross wasn't out yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, they wasn't out yet. And so we went to Jermaine, and wait a minute, I'm sorry. Criss Cross was out.
Yeah,
Criss Cross had came out, right? Yeah. That's why we knew who he was. We're like, okay, this guy. So he had Criss Cross, and we went and sung "Happy Birthday" for him, and he loved us, and he was just like telling Ian, yeah, I want to work for those girls, and he came back and got us, and he came and got us, and actually one of the songs that we sung for him from a church song, he's like, I want to record that on y'all. That was the first song we recorded, which was "Is My Living in Vain," and he went in, he made the beat, and we went and redid it.
They come out and they go multi-platinum?
Yeah.
Okay, and because Criss Cross wasn't on So Def, right?
Nah.
Okay, they were on, I guess,
Rough
Columbia?
House.
Rough House, right.
Yeah.
So now you have your own label with a platinum act, and then it just keeps growing after that. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm looking at the roster, it's crazy. Like in terms of like the biggest groups that are coming out of So Def, who were they after Xscape?
Brat, of course, Jagged Edge, Bow Wow. Then we did these bass compilations where we did, that became like soundtracks to people's lives, I guess people say, like when they was in college and this, that, and the third. So that was a big part of my company, especially being from the streets of Atlanta and hearing music everywhere you went. This was like part of that cloth, the bass compilation.
Right, because now when you think of hip hop, you have to mention Atlanta. But back then, Atlanta was just some country town that no one really took seriously.
Yeah,
you were the one that was flying journalists out and everything else like that to say, hey, this is about to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, because when the Brat came out, she was, let me make sure I get this right, the first female solo rap artist to have a platinum plaque for her premiere album.
Yeah.
So you were just hitting them one after another.
I mean, I just, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could look at it like that, but I also was like, I was doing things that was in a space where it wasn't a lot of activity, even like with the Brat, to say that it wasn't nobody that came out besides Light and Latifah, not to say that they weren't supposed to do that, but they was the only two people that was holding that space at that particular time. So it was like, then Yo-Yo came out. You start seeing it, but I'm saying prior to that, as far as two people that was sitting there saying, okay, well, we run female rap, it wasn't really, I won't say it wasn't hard, but it wasn't, the lane wasn't full.
Right, Lauryn Hill came later.
Yeah, it came after.
Lil Kim came later.
Yeah.
Everything came afterwards.
Yeah.
And Biggie actually did a song with Da Brat.
Yeah.
Being that you have Xscape, when Biggie dissed Xscape on the dreams of fucking an R&B bitch, did you feel some type of way about that?
Nah, because the night that Xscape album came out, Coming At You, we had an album release party in New York, and Big came to the party and told the girls that, it was just a song. This was like the first time I met Big. It was the first time the girls met him, and he came to the party and he acknowledged the fact that, he really liked Xscape. He just wanted to let them know, like, it was a song. And from that day forth, I had all, respect for Biggie, because he ain't had to do that. You know what I mean? He ain't know us, ain't nobody know him, but he still came, and he, that let me know it was genuine. I think the girls still felt a little kind of way about it, but I looked at it like, he ain't have to do that. So from there, I never paid no attention to those lyrics again.
Yeah, I think, was it Candy that interviewed a while back, when I guess the night he got killed, he wanted to approach him and apologize, but they didn't really want to speak to him because they still felt some type of way. And then later on that night, he got killed, and they felt a little bad that they didn't give him a chance to.
It was the night that he passed. We were at that party, and I remember, I guess, some our group members, we were split up, and so I guess I already saw some of the other girls. I don't know. Tiny came up to me and she was like, "But he want to talk to us, man. He said he want to apologize. He's sorry, man. He's sorry." He said he's sorry. I was like, man, I ain't trying to talk to him. I don't give a damn. Because in my mind, I felt like, he dissed us, like he had dogged us out. You know what I mean? So I didn't really care to hear his apology. And then that happened to him, and I felt like crap. Yeah. I felt horrible.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Well, you said that you saw Biggie pull out a gun on Lil Kim?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What was that about?
I mean, Big was for real, Just leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it right there. Like, Big was for real. He wasn't one of these guys to be playing and wasn't no fake ass rapper. Like, you start talking crazy to Big, it was gonna be a problem.
Okay.